live, and you are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 15-0 New York Giants are taking on the 0-15 Baltimore Ravens. Why those Baltimore Ravens 0-15? Because they suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all? Anybody and everybody. Thank you so much. Spend a little bit of time with me. Or anybody watches any of this replay at all. Once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys absolutely rock. Going to go about 30 minutes here. All right. As I try to every night. Anybody got anything to say? Throw in the chat box. I check on the chat box from time to time. So any comments, concerns, anything at all, just throw it in the chat box. And before I get started, in the description box below, there's a link. I mean, if you want to help support my channel, there's a link below. You can click on it, and I got three different memberships you can sign up for. I know one's like the Saquon, one's like the Lawrence Taylor, I believe it is, or something like that. But if you want to help support my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button below and click that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, I put out a video or whatever, you'll be notified. And also in the description box below too, I got there's a Facebook group, right, that I run. It's called the Gridiron, right? Feel free, like it, right? And there's two pages I have. One's called the Gridiron, right? If you can click on that link, like that one as well too. Follow it. And then there's another one I got. It's called a page called This Day in Giants History. Basically, I try to go like every day. I put up a different video like of a game. What I'll be doing here will be, I put one up for the 15th, for October 15th, which was 1961. The Giants, first time the Giants played the Cowboys in Dallas. Right, the Giants went down to Dallas on October 15th, 1961. Played the Cowboys. The Giants wound up whooping up their candy asses 31-10. Right. So what I try to do every day, I try to put out a video. So I'll be putting one out again in a couple hours on something that happened on October 16th, this date in history. Okay. So feel free, click on those links, join them, follow them, like them, all that stuff. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. But now let's turn to the big news at hand here. All right. We got week 6, 4-1. New York Giants. Doesn't sound great to say that, huh? Of course, the only thing that would be better than 4-1 would be saying the 5-1 New York Giants. Now, one thing I do like, all right, is that as far as with the Ravens, is that the Ravens almost kind of go like toe-to-toe, shall we say, with injuries. Okay, if I can find it here. Okay, man games lost. I'm subscribed to mangameslost.com, and they just updated. Took long enough, but they just updated after week 5 the games that were missed. Okay, so far through this season, right, and through 5 weeks, all right. The Giants are shocking are number 2. Seattle, they've lost more man games due to injuries and all. 74. The Giants are second with 69. All right. Obviously, that's going to go up even more, of course, after this week. But Baltimore, okay, they've missed 67. They are tied for 3rd with Tennessee. Okay. So Tennessee and Baltimore tied for 3rd with 67 man games missed due to like injuries. So, it's not kind of like the Giants are totally banged up. Got a bunch of guys out, and like the way it was last week with the Packers. Packers had a couple guys maybe banged up with it, but they had nobody out at all, and we still beat them, right? But I mean, the Giants had a bunch of guys out last week, but this week once again the Giants have a lot of guys out. But I mean, the Ravens have some injuries as well, too, themselves. Okay, so it's not like they're totally injury free. All right, if we got here, all right, okay. Now let's go over the. Oh my God, this list is freaking believable for the Giants. Unbelievable. All right. Well, they got guys who are, I don't know. I mean, for the Giants, I mean, it's going to take me about 3 days to read off all the guys who are injured for the Giants. Simply amazing. Cordell Flott, he's out. Jamie Gillan, I mean, they got him on here. I don't know, because he had a problem with his passport. All right, but he's good to go. Kenny Golladay, he's out. Tony Jefferson with a foot, he's out. Jason Pinnock with his ankle, he's out. Kadarius Toney with a hamstring. I'm not sure which hamstring it is or if it's both his hamstrings, but shocking, Kadarius Toney, he's out. And then you got Saquon Barkley with his shoulder. He's good to go. Darnay Holmes with a quad. He's good to go. Adoree Jackson, he's good to go with his neck and his knee. Thankfully, because we need as many cornerbacks on the field as we can. Because if Aaron Robinson's out, we certainly could use because we got Aaron Robinson out. Right. Yeah, so I mean, to get Darnay Holmes and Adoree Jackson, be able to play is huge. Okay, Chris Myrick, he has an ankle, but he should be good to go. Azeez Ojulari, he's doubtful. Maybe if we're lucky, maybe we can get him back the following week. Wan'Dale Robinson is questionable. Okay, but he's trending like he might wind up playing because we can use all the help we can get on a wide receiver. Tyrod Taylor with concussion, he's good to go. Leonard Williams is questionable. Okay, but he's trending in the right direction, like he might wind up playing too. We could certainly use him. In the defensive front, putting pressure on the quarterback, pushing the pocket. Him and Sexy Dexter pushing the pocket. Helping against the run game would be huge. Tanner Hudson with an illness, he's questionable. Not sure what the illness is because he's been ill for a few days now, so. Not sure he caught something over there in London or what the heck it was. And you got Jihad Ward. I don't know why he's listed on here. He's good to go. But the Ravens, they got a few guys. But, of course, the Giants, once again, for the 300th game in a row, are outdoing their opponent as far as with the injuries. Okay, the Giants have like a 300-game streak going there. I think that's an all-time record. Simply, absolutely, simply amazing how every year the Giants are injured every year. Simply amazing. All right, but the one nice thing, okay, with the Ravens, right? Rashad Bateman, he's out with a foot. Okay, Calais Campbell, they rested him. He's on his list, but he's good to go. Ben Cleveland, a guard, he is out with a foot. Justin Hill, running back with a hamstring. He's doubtful, okay? And then the only other guy would be Justin Houston, okay? Their outside linebacker with a groin, all right? Then they got Marcus Peters. They rested him, okay? And Ronnie Stanley, they rested him, and he had a little bit of an ankle problem. And then also they rested Kevin Zeitler, apparently. But he'll be good to go, okay, without question. So, I mean, the Ravens have some, okay, but of course it's nowhere. Let's see, on the injury list, let's see, the Giants have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Giants got, some of it is like Jamie Gillan. He had a problem with his passport. I don't know why he's on this list here, but the Giants got 16 guys listed. 16, 32, basically almost like a third of a team they got listed on the injury report. Simply amazing. Every year. I said, but the Ravens, they got, they have their own injury problems as well, too, okay? But got some storylines here in the Giants wire, okay? There's 5 things to watch out for, 5 big things. First thing to talk about, can the Giants keep winning? Sure they can. Of course they can. But Giants enter the game a 5.5-point underdog. Now I think it was Jihad Ward. He was talking about really, really trying to do whatever they can to get the W, the dub, as I guess they call it, the dub for a wink, because obviously he was with the I think he said it was for 10 years with the Ravens. So, I know the defense is really going to, saying it against Lamar Jackson and doing it against Lamar Jackson are couple different things, but I know they're trying to really, really going to go out of their way. I mean, because I know they appreciate everything. I know he's appreciated everything those guys have done too, without question. But I know, it seems like it's reciprocal. I mean, like the guys, really want to go out of their way and really help out Wink or make him look good, make him feel good. I mean, he's not going to say it, I guess, or anything, but I'm sure the game has a little more meaning to him. He wouldn't mind, kind of going out of his way, maybe just to put another L in for the Ravens. So it's going to be a big, big game. 5.5-point underdogs. Wow. And it says that's just fine with them. They've been thriving on being afterthoughts all season long. Giants are off to their best start since they opened up 5-0 in 2009. And, of course, in the year before that, 2008, they started 11-1. And, of course, in 2007, we know they won the Super Bowl. So, first-year head coach Brian Daboll is an early Coach of the Year candidate. That's right. And the Giants have several players, Andrew Thomas, Sexy Dexter, Xavier McKinney, Saquon Barkley, and Julian Love playing at a Pro Bowl level. So we got Saquon. Saquon Barkley is dealing with a shoulder injury he suffered in London, went over to Green Bay last week. So he's going to have to watch out how he gets tackled and all. Trying to make sure, I guess, maybe he doesn't come down on that shoulder again. Maybe if he gets tackled, try his best. Maybe the fall on the other shoulder or whatever. So he's going to have his workout out for him. All right. He was limited in practice all week, but has no intention of letting this minor setback interfere with his historic comeback. He says shoulder feels pretty good, Barkley said this week. Obviously, I was able to go back out there and finish the game. I've just been rehabbing it, being smart, but I'm excited for us to go out, to get a chance to go out against a really good football team. Saquon left the game last week to be evaluated, but then returned to lead the Giants to victory, scoring the winning touchdown. And of course, then the next thing they got is injuries are still an issue. Yeah, I know. Well, after this week, the Giants had 2 more games. Then they got themselves a bye week. So, I mean, maybe, after the bye, of course, I'm sure we're going to be adding more injuries to the list. But maybe with the bye week, maybe, nobody can get injured during practice. And possibly maybe we can get a guy back or two, which would be huge because we'll play 8 games. Okay, so we basically with the bye week will be like right about the halfway mark. We played 8, we'll have 9 left. Okay, so if we can get some guys back, get a little healthy for those last 9 games, that would be huge, right? Absolutely huge. I mean, and nothing is huge. I mean, man, I'll tell you what. I'm just saying if the Giants wind up winning, they'll be 5-1. And then if Sunday night, if the Cowboys beat the Eagles, we'll have 3 teams at 5-1 atop the NFC East. And the NFC East will be back, baby. That's going to be a heck of a game. Let me tell you what, Cowboys-Eagles should be a heck of a game. Oh, yeah. Let's see. You got the Giants have been the most injured team in the NFL over the past decade. Yep. And the trend is continuing this season. Oh, yeah. Yep. They have 11 players either currently on injured reserve or other lists, and this week's injury report had 9 other names on it. Absolutely unbelievable. Wide receivers Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney are out again. Shocking. Cordell Flott with his calf. Tony Jefferson's foot and Jason Pinnock are also out this week, too. So we got 2 wide receivers, and we got 3 guys in the secondary out. That's why it was so important, to get Adoree Jackson back in there. Okay, Darnay Holmes back in there. Maybe get Wan'Dale Robinson to add to the wide receiver group. Now, of course, linebacker Azeez Ojulari is doubtful as he's dealing with his calf issue. Defensive lineman Leonard Williams and rookie wideout Wan'Dale Robinson could suit up this week but are limited in practice. Defensive backs Darnay Holmes, Adoree Jackson, along with fullback Chris Myrick were limited in practice this week, and tight end Tanner Hudson is questionable with an illness. I'm not sure what the illness is. Okay, then we got the next thing to bring up is Wink versus former team. Giants' first-year defensive coordinator Wink Martindale served as an assistant coach for the Ravens from 2012 to 2021, so 10 seasons. The last 4 is their defensive coordinator. This week he answered all the questions about his time with the Ravens and nothing but positive things to say about the organizations and the great friends and the relationship he left with, which is true. It really seemed like it was heartfelt, but it's also, you don't want to give them any bulletin board material, right? One question he was asked, perhaps the most pertinent one, was how he planned on defending against star quarterback Lamar Jackson, a player he obviously knows very well. I love the guy. I think it's another great challenge, Martindale said. He went from Aaron Rodgers, league MVP, now we're going to go against Lamar Jackson, league MVP back in 2019. I was with him when he did that, and he is an unbelievable player. For anybody that wants to say anything that he's not, he said, okay, because he's unbelievable and he's playing at an MVP caliber right now like he was back in 2019. So, he's nothing but praising, not giving anybody any bulletin board material, right, which is very, very good. He also said it's different sitting in a chair now instead of a practice when you're watching him. It's like I told outside linebacker coach Drew Wilkins all those times we were going against him, and a guy said, "Oh, I got him," because you've got to stay away from the quarterback. Oh, I had him. We're going to find that out on Sunday, whether or not they got him or not. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you can plan, you can this, you can that, but trying to catch him is one thing. Bringing him down is something else. I mean, it's, we got Landon Collins is back. With so many injuries, the Giants are turning to some old hands for help, such as Landon Collins. I'll be so fired up to see that dude out on the field. I'm so happy for him, really, really happy for him. You know what I mean? He got paid, right? So it's not, obviously, he ain't nobody starving. But, I mean, he got paid. He got some money. Now, if he's ever going to get another nice contract, I mean, he's not going to get what he got paid before, $15 million. But if somebody's ever going to pick him up again and pay him a nice, little something, a few years or whatever, that remains to be seen. But I'm just so happy for him. And it's just so happy to see him back out on the field because he's all fired up, coming back home, so to speak, right? The team that drafted him, right? We're in a good position. We could use good quality players like him. All right, now is he going to be, all world and a phenomenal, Yeah, he'll be the best he can be, right? He's going to be, a little bit of a liability in coverage, shall we say? But he's going to be all fired up when he's in that box trying to, go up against the run and everything. He's going to be good to go. Now, the guy here, Collins, will likely be more like a linebacker than a safety, which makes him a perfect fit for Martindale's defensive scheme. And he's very good, getting pressure on the quarterback. All right. Very good at tackling, very good, against the run and all that. So moving him up in the box would be fantastic. Now, the thing is, whoever he winds up covering, if he has to cover somebody, it's a different story, but we'll have to wind up seeing who covers their tight end. That guy is freaking phenomenal. I was hearing things that maybe Xavier McKinney might wind up covering their tight end. I'll go over that in a little bit. But the Giants could elevate him to the active roster for this week's game. They'll have to wind up waiting and see, right? If they, what they wind up doing with Landon Collins, who they elevate and who they don't, right? Now, what we got here, right? We got some of the offensive, all right? Now, rushing yards, all right, so far. All right, the Giants are third overall, okay, behind the Bears and the Browns. The Giants are third, 895 yards rushing, 5.4 yards per carry, okay? But the Ravens are number 7, all right? There's 723 yards. I mean, the Giants have, got, 170 more yards than them. But, I mean, the Ravens, especially with Lamar Jackson, they're averaging, what are they averaging? They're averaging 5.4, the same thing as the Giants. Every time they run the ball, they average 5.5 yards a carry. Very, very impressive. Okay. What do we got? Passing yards. Okay, so, let's see, where are we at? The Giants, they're number 31, 771 passing yards. They're almost dead last. The Ravens are number 21 too. They're 1,039, but I mean they got like 250 more passing yards. So they're getting about 50 more passing yards per game than the Giants on average. Okay, So that'll be a tough thing, right? Now Lamar Jackson, what do we got? He's about 63.8% completion percentage. Okay, he's got 12 touchdown passes already in 5 games, but he does have 5 interceptions. But now, however, it goes both ways. The Ravens, I think they have 8 interceptions. Okay, they lead the NFL in takeaways, so the Giants got to be careful about that. Huge. I mean, nothing. You can't give the Ravens like 14 points, a pick 6 or a fumble, sack, strip fumble, picked up, run back for a touchdown or something. You can't give the Ravens that, right? The Giants really, you can't keep digging yourself a hole every week. I mean, we're down 13-0 to the Titans. We were down 17-3 to the Packers. I mean, you can't every week just keep digging yourself a hole and expect to keep coming back week in and week out against good quality opponents. Okay, so it's very, very important. All right, the Giants, Daniel Jones got to be because they're going to go after the ball, fumbles, or as far as maybe picking off passes. Okay, and we may not have elite wide receivers on the field to get a lot of separation. They're going to have to scheme up some things to get our guys open. Okay, so Daniel Jones is going to be very, very careful. But then also on the flip side, okay, Lamar Jackson has 5 interceptions, so he's averaging 1 a game. Okay. But the Giants are the only team in the NFL who do not have an interception. All right. That's not a good stat. What do we got here? J Horb 74. Landon said it's his dream to retire in New York. Cool. I'm fired up for that. The only thing is, after this season's over, right? Who are we going to pay? Who are we going to let go? Are we going to re-sign Daniel Jones? Are we going to re-sign Saquon Barkley? Are we going to, I love, we got some guy. I was like Feliciano. We got some guys on 1-year deals. Who's coming? Who's going? Who are we going to stay? Landon Collins, this is his only year. Are we going to try to maybe re-sign him? Said he never wanted to. Yeah, I know. Apparently, Gettleman didn't want him here either. But it's tough to say. Gettleman didn't want him here. Or he just didn't want to pay him $15 million a year for a safety. That's a tough call. And I listened to someone say that Lamar would outrun Saquon. Might be. He's fast, man. He is fast. I think you got to re-sign DJ after this year if we keep winning. Oh yeah. Well, they don't. They can also just franchise tag him, right? Dip their toe in the water and kind of say, "Well, he did pretty good last year. Let's franchise tag him for this season, all right, and see if he can do it 2 seasons in a row. If he can do it 2 seasons in a row, he's our guy." So we'll have to wait and see. But you got to look at a lot of it. He's learning a new system. We don't have phenomenal wide receivers out there because any guys we do got that were good, they're hurt. They're not on the field. If we had the Eagles and we had A.J. Brown and we had DeVonta Smith out there, right? Those 2 guys. If we had Stephon Diggs out there, Tyreek Hill, right? Waddle. Like the Dolphins do. If we have, those 2 freaks of nature out there running around, might be a little different ball game. We might have some more yards from Daniel Jones, might have some more touchdowns and all that, but trying to win games with Richie James and Bellinger and Tanner Hudson and Myrick and David Sills. It's tough to really put up, staggering numbers with those kind of guys out there, right? Go to any team in the NFL. Take your top 4 wide receivers. Sorry, can't play them. But their 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th wide receivers, best 8 out there. And that's who you got to win a football game with. Go ahead. And then also, because what happened last week with the Giants take their top 2 cornerbacks of any team. Sorry, they're hurt. Can't have your cornerbacks, right? So, what we got? Marcus Johnson, never, ever heard. Some of these, and that's how we're winning football games. But a lot of it's got the scheme too. They're getting this guy, getting these guys open. They're doing, the coaching, calling the plays at the right time, or maybe Daniel Jones seeing the defense and signaling, into a different call, maybe getting the guys open. Because it's tough for these guys, these pack of guys that we got, we're putting on the field to, outbeat anybody. Somehow we keep winning. So, but the Giants, with to Lamar Jackson, their big problem, is going to be trying to cover Mark Andrews. Okay, what's he got? He's got 32 catches. He's catching, what the hell is that? Oh, my math stinks. 5.5. What is that? Like 6.5 catches a game. So I guess what? Yeah, every 2 games he's catching 13 balls. Okay, what's he got? 300. He doesn't catch. He's 4 touchdown receptions already, 11 yards average. Okay, but he's the guy. Okay, and then we got Duvernay. All right, he's got 17 receptions. Now, and their third is Bateman, and he's out. Okay, so they got Duvernay and they got Mark Andrews. All right, so those are the 2 guys. Now we're going to want to wait and see what they do with Andrews. Like, will somebody cover him short, and if he goes long, they pass him off maybe to Xavier McKinney. Does somebody just cover him straight up off the line of scrimmage? Who knows? But that's the big guy Lamar Jackson goes to. All right, that's in with the Giants. Daniel Jones seems to spread it out. Seems like at the end of the game, maybe Richie James might have 4 or 5 catches. But other than that, Bellinger might have 1 or 2. Myrick might have 1. Hudson, if he plays, might have 1 or 2. Sills might have 1. So he's just spreading them out. Breida might have 1. But we got the defense here. Okay, I want to point this out. The Ravens passing, which is, I guess in a way it might be good, help the Giants out. Okay, the Ravens have given up the most passing yards in the NFL so far. Okay, but they're number 1. They've given up 1,451 yards passing so far. Okay, so my math is correct. That's 290 yards, passing yards per game. Okay, now considering the Giants just passed for over 200 last week for the first time, I think, all year, at least it should help the Giants out a little bit, okay, because their pass defense is not very good. They've given up 9 touchdown passes, okay, but they've had 8 interceptions, so it's going to be huge. The Giants, if the Ravens win the game, the Giants have to let the Ravens beat them, okay? If the Ravens wind up winning, whatever, 24-21, you tip the cap to them. Good job. Ravens are very, very good coach team. They'll be tough team to beat, right? So if they win, they win. But you got to have the Ravens beat you. You can't, I don't know how many times in the past I've seen we'll have a home game. Eli Manning's the quarterback. He'll throw like 2 pick sixes or something like that, or a ball gets strip sack, fumble, picked up, run back for thing. You can't give them 10, 14 points or so, right, off of turnovers or anything like that. If they're going to beat them, the Ravens are going to win. You got to make the Ravens beat you, right? So, the Giants, though, okay, on the other hand, as far as, they've only given up 972 passing yards. They are number 25 overall, okay? They've only given up 6 touchdown passes. So they've a lot of bend, but don't break. The teams maybe get down toward the red zone or whatever, but, they kind of bend, but don't break. So they've only given up 6 touchdown passes in 5 games. Very impressive, okay? But as I said, they're the only team that does not have an interception so far this year. A couple turnovers tomorrow could be huge. It was huge against the Panthers. That gave us 6 points. I wish we got more against the Panthers, right, than those 6 points. And we had the first turnover we got early on we had the ball around the 20-yard line. We got a field goal out of it. Then the next time we got a turnover right away, we got another field goal out of it. But that was huge. That was 6 points. We won by 3. You take those 2 turnovers away, maybe there's 6 points away, we might lose. Maybe we're 3-2 right now. So turnovers are huge as far as also getting them, but also not giving them up either. So far, Daniel Jones has done a very, very good job, all in all. Do you know of any good receivers in the draft? Oh, there's going to be every year there's going to be a boatload of receivers in the draft. I'm not really following it right now. I'm kind of more concerned, with the Giants. So I try to keep an eye on Notre Dame. They're my team, but there's always a boatload of receivers in the draft. Now it'd be interesting to see where the Giants wind up picking. Do they go after a super duper stud in the first round, or they try to pick up somebody like maybe a Wan'Dale Robinson in the second round, or they wait for Darius Slayton type of guy maybe in the fifth round? But I'm sure we can pick up a couple wide receivers in the draft next year in the third or fourth round, if nothing else, But it would really, really be nice. It's just so refreshing if we could get a freaking stud wide receiver who can actually stay healthy. It would just be freaking phenomenal. I mean, we Sterling Shepard, he's always injured, and he's not a stud. Kenny Golladay, he won't be on the team after this year. Kadarius Toney, nobody can cover him, but he can't get on the field, right? So that's your best ability is availability. If you ain't available, I mean, you could be Jesus Christ, but if he's hurt all the time, you ain't no good. Okay, and then we got Wan'Dale Robinson, who hasn't proved himself yet either, and I don't think Wan'Dale Robinson will ever be a number one wide receiver. We got to get ourselves the alpha male out there. You know what I'm saying? Throw me the MFing ball. I'm open. Throw it to me. Right? After this game's over, guess what? I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to play next week. That's what I got. And after that game, guess what? I'm going to be healthy again. I'm going to play the following week. I'm going to play every freaking game. That what I mean? Throw me the ball. That's what we need. We need somebody, the number one. Somebody can make a difference. Get like Odell Beckham Jr., but of course, he would get hurt too as well. But we need something like that. Somebody who can scare the crap out of a defense, take the top off the defense, stretch the defense out a little bit instead of having them bringing them in. Let's put 37 guys in the box so we can stop Saquon running the ball. Stretch it out. Right? This, our one guy who goes out over here, right? He's over. That's keep an eye there. Keep an eye on Saquon there. Keep an eye on this guy. Just, you turn your back on him 1 second, the guy's past you, all right, and they're throwing the ball for a touchdown. So that's what the Giants need, without question. Our last stud is Odell Beckham. Yep. We need somebody. We really, really could use somebody. Now, as I said, I don't know how they're going to approach that, whether they're going to try to maybe make a trade for somebody or maybe pick somebody up in the draft. I don't know. But, Dable, he ain't no dummy. Him and Kafka, I'm sure they want their toys, okay? Something to play with, something to open up at Christmas, right? And a nice, juicy Stephon Diggs or somebody like that. A Jefferson, Minnesota would be crazy to let Jefferson go. But, somebody like that. Somebody, you know what I mean? A top 5 wide receiver on the team. So, look what the Eagles are doing, right? Nobody's injured on the team, but look, they got Brown, right? And they got DeVonta Smith. They got 2 good, and then they got Goddard, their tight end too. They got 3 really good targets out there. The rest of the team, but they got 3 really good targets out there. Okay, and they got a very good offensive line, and they got Jalen to protect Jalen Hurts, and they're doing really, really well. Giants wanted DeVonta. Oh yeah, well, I don't know. Somebody was talking, or seems like sometimes people like to seem to shoot their mouth off. Right? Dallas and Philly collaborate. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they got us good. They really, really got us good. Oh yeah. You can look at 2 ways on this. Okay. Did they really get us good? Because all right, they got DeVonta Smith, but then who fell in our laps? Micah Parsons, right? Wouldn't you want him? The only thing would be if we got Micah Parsons. Now, would you rather have Micah Parsons or would you rather have Kadarius Toney / Evan Neal? That's a tough one. But so if you look at it, they got DeVonta Smith, okay? Now, we could add some other wide receivers too, all right? But we could add Micah Parsons. Now, how good would this defense be if we had Micah Parsons, huh? If we had Sexy Dexter, if we had Micah Parsons, Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau, Leonard Williams, Adoree Jackson, What we got? Xavier McKinney, Julian Love. Now we got Landon Collins back, Aaron Robinson, Darnay Holmes. I mean, we'd have a nice defense. So, yeah, but they got us. They got us good. Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm saying, but you gotta have somebody. And I said, and I said, you look at some of these teams. A lot of these teams that are good. They got, if you don't got an Aaron Rodgers, it helps if you have two good wide receivers. Two really helps out. Because I mean, if you got one, I mean, they can kind of leave, put guys over there to kind of cover you, do a decent job at, taking you away, right? But if you got two, and then if you got two wide receivers, then you got Saquon in the backfield, woo, now you're talking. Now I'm going to go. It's been 35 minutes, almost 36 minutes, me shoot my mouth off. But Jay Harbs, 74. Thank you. Oh, we got Kayvon had more pressures than any other rookie. Oh, yeah. And he missed time too. So he's getting pressure. He's affecting the game. He's just not getting sacks yet. But they'll come. Without question. Been nice listening to you. Sorry for throwing you off, of course. Well, you're the only one putting any comments in the chat section. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah. But I'm going to go. I'm going to make my pick. And what I'm going to do here is it's kind of like inside kind of joke kind of thing here. I'm going to make my prediction. Now, what I've done was against Tennessee and against Green Bay, two really good opponents. Okay, I picked against the Giants. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep with that theme here. I think it's going to be a tough game, right? I said unless the Giants just totally throw it away with interceptions and all kinds of turnovers, give it a punt return back for a touchdown, stuff like that. I think it's going to be a close game. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick the Ravens, a close one, like maybe 23-20. I don't know if it's going to be really, really, really that high scoring, right? I mean, it could be, 24-23. So I think it'll be like, somewhere, within a score. The way a lot of the Giants games have been, very close score. Either could go either way. Either team could wind up winning, right? But I'm going to pick the Ravens this way. If the Ravens win, I look good because I picked the Ravens. But if the Ravens lose, which I'm hoping happens, and Ravens lost, that means the Giants won. That means the Giants are 5-1. So I'm going to keep my theme because Bill Parcells was always very superstitious too. Once he got that first Gatorade bath, every time they won, had to keep doing the Gatorade. It's very, very superstitious. Okay, so I'm going to be a little superstitious this year too. Okay, and anytime the Giants got a tough game, I'm going to pick against them. So this is going to be a tough game at home. I think the Ravens wind up winning, like 24-21, something like that. But as I said, if I'm wrong, I'll be very happy because that means the Giants won. Well, guys, anybody at all with the Ravens defense, I'm hoping the Giants break. The Ravens do give up yards. They give up, especially passing yards. And they give up some rushing yards as well too. So, the Giants got a chance. They got to have to scheme this up. They have to scheme it up right and all and everything. But they got a chance. They certainly got a chance. Oh yeah, they can certainly put up some points. But I mean, it's going to be really, really tough. I know Jihad Ward is really firing the defense up big time for Wink Martindale. They really shut their defense down, their offense down. But saying you're going to shut Lamar Jackson down and doing it is two totally different things. I mean, the dude is a freak. Okay. Whatever you put him, top 5 quarterback, top 6, 7 quarterback, whatever you want to put him, you know what I mean? But he's tough. Okay. Really, really tough. Just feel the Ravens' weakness is our strength. Yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, we've had problems throwing the ball, right? That's going to help, help our weak passing game. That certainly should help. All right. If we can keep giving Saquon the ball, get him some yards and all that, that'll certainly help as well too. I said, but we're going to have to have got our hands full, trying to shut them down. I'm all for it. I hope they do it. Man, I love it, man. 5-1 Giants, and then after this, we got We got Jacksonville. Then we got on the road. I think then we got the Seahawks on the road. Okay. Then we got our bye week. Then we got, I think the Texans come here. So after this week, we got 3, nice games. I mean, well, the Seahawks are putting up some points. They're putting up some yards too with Geno Smith there. I'll tell you what, I'm very, very shocked about that. But, the Giants got some winnable games coming up. So even if they were to lose, I hope not. 5-1 sounds great, but, we got some winnable games coming up without question. I said, then we got our bye week. After tomorrow, we got 2 more games. Then we got our bye week, and maybe we can get some Giants back. And I'll tell you what, nothing would help better, than getting some guys back, right? Giving us a decent chance, because it's tough to keep winning in the NFL, period. But if every week you keep losing another guy, I mean, after 17 weeks, you lose 14, 15 guys. I mean, it's how are you supposed to win? How are you supposed to win? Well, as I said, guys, games at 1:00. I'll be back tomorrow to go over everything. As I said, anybody watch this at all from the bottom of my heart? Thank you so much. You guys rock. Or anybody watch the replay of this? Thank you so much. You guys are the absolute best. And as always, you guys stay safe out there. And go Giants. Woo! Oh,